I start.
Good evening and welcome to this session of the live virtual coaching classes organized by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Before I even begin, let me welcome or thank Dhyanesh Shingle, Alok, Ms. Jyoti Jha and others for their greetings and the topic we continue to discuss today. Of course, a lot more people have put in their thing. I thank Dhyanesh. Okay, let's not, we leave that out. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Unaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavidhisavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Fantastic. Thank you, Dhanesh, for giving me that suggestion. And of course, Ma Vidvisavahi you saw. Tejasvina Vadhitamastu is very powerful. It says, see, there's an inner glow, there's an inner, light in all of us. And the Guru tells, let that light grow in both of us. Let that Tejas glow in both of us through our learning is the prayer that he puts forth. This is actually not a prayer to the internet. This is a prayer to the Supreme, to the life force, okay, to that which is behind all energy in the universe. And we pray to that. And with that, we begin. So, nice. Before we even begin, let's get along with the queries and all that. Mr. Chatan Gada, whatever. The exception I will again tell you. Definitely, I'll tell you one more time. But I think how many ever times I tell, I think it is you who have to tune. What I suggest now, instead of me explaining it, you tell me which part you don't understand. I think we have reached the stage where if I keep on repeating it, you will not understand. I think you are not understanding something. Next time I will not explain again. Once I will explain for your query, next time you have to ask what you don't understand, which one you don't understand. Then I will explain that. Repeating, wasting time for all of us, because you are the only person asking me to repeat this part. This is the third time you are asking. Second time I gave you, third time you are asking. Third time I'll do it. But you will have, maybe my ability is also bad. So maybe this is the limit for my ability to make you understand. So this is it. After that, if you still don't understand, then maybe you need to go to somebody. Maybe you need to ask them to explain it to you in Hindi. Okay, that will be better. Because I don't know how to speak in Hindi. That is my problem. I will do my best in English once more. But if it is not clear, then please approach somebody who will be able to explain to you in Hindi or whichever. Maybe better than me. Okay, yeah, I also see, my understanding was that Ratan Tata was born in Mumbai. But Surat, there is a connection with Surat in as much as they moved. See, the Parsis were first in Gujarat. Then only they moved to Mumbai. So they basically Gujaratis, not Gujaratis, but people from Gujarat. Because they came to Persia, they then moved into the Gujarat, came to Gujarat, and then they were allowed to stay there by the ruler of Gujarat. And he put only two conditions. He said you have to merge with the local population and that your women should wear saris, which is why you still find Parsi women preferring to wear saris rather than Western dress, which they were earlier wearing. So maybe there is a connection with Surat. But Ratan Tata, as you rightly pointed out, was not born in Surat. Wherever he was born, it doesn't matter. No? See, amendments wherever necessary will be included in the syllabus content. No separate for, I cannot do that for amendments. Whatever amendment is there, it will be covered in the coverage. Okay. Whatever is, one main amendment we have already covered. Small companies definition, we have already covered. Okay, very good. Moving on, exception, yeah. See, first exception, first, I think this is what Chada wants. See, you are only issuing to existing members. Okay, you are issuing a prospectus to existing members because you will understand it better when you come to rights issue. There you will find that a company has to make the offer to the existing shareholders before going to anybody else. Whenever fresh issue of shares are made by any company, whether listed, unlisted, public, it has to make the offer to the existing shareholder first in proportion to their current holding. Why, etc., we'll see it when we come to rights. When such a prospectus is issued only to the existing members or debenture holders, whether there is a right to renounce or not, then that is exempted from the format of prospectus, the rules of prospectus. Similarly, where the shares are already listed and similar shares are being issued again, 26 is not applicable to this situation. Okay, so this is the best explanation I can give you, Ba. Beyond that, if you still have a doubt, please. And one more thing I'll assure you, 100% institute is not going to ask you questions here. 100%. It is in the content of the syllabus. Therefore, as a faculty, I'm covering it. But if you ask me honestly, is it so important that without knowing it, I will fail in the exam? No. Okay, that much also I'll tell you. Whereas, if you have not understood shelf prospectus or red herring prospectus, that is dangerous because they could ask you a question in the exam based on this. Okay. Moving on. Yesterday, the other class we saw red herring prospectus. Red herring prospectus. So, I don't have a format of the red herring prospectus. Kindly go to the net. If you want to do that type of research, see, this class is not capable of doing that. This is an online class where my goal here is to teach the content fully. I would love to show all that and take class and all that, but this is not possible now. Even if I show you, you won't understand anything. My suggestion, go on your own and see it. If you have a doubt, you ask me. Basically, today, you do not have a pure red herring prospectus. There is no pure red herring prospectus. See, what they do is, they give you a prospectus with a price band. Okay, that's it. A pure red herring prospectus will never come to the public. A pure red herring prospectus will only go to the QIBs and HNIs. Okay, I'm sure if you go to SEBI website, there are a lot of examples. But my humble request is you don't have to go through all that and waste your time at this stage. When you come to final and you're studying SEBI, at that time you do this type of deep research. Okay, now at this stage, it will be wasting your time to an extent, because you need valuable time for studying other topics also. So let us not waste our time. Suffice it to say, red herring prospectus is one which does not include two things. One, price and the quantum. But today you will never see a pure red herring prospectus where the number of shares is not given and the price is blank. You will invariably see a price band and the number of shares being offered. Price band also will be there. Within that price band only we have to operate. Is the point. Rarely you see a pure red herring prospectus now, where there is no price. Okay. Because that much, they are not willing to take the time. Because already they've gone through some kind of a informal valuation process with QIBs. They already know the pulse. So they come. But then, instead of going through the elaborate red herring prospectus, they will float a sort of an information memorandum informally to the QIBs, at least the key guys, and then find out if they are interested, they are picking, see what the price is. Then they will have a price band idea. Based on the price band, they will go for the price band, lower end and upper end price. They give the lower end and the upper end price. Within that, you have to do it. Okay. What is very important is that before the allotment is made, the red herring prospectus, any changes in the financial position should be informed. And any person who has already bid and who is now taking up the share, if he wants to withdraw it, he can do that. Okay? They can withdraw the application prior to the opening of the subscription list. Okay. Now, to understand average prospectus, again, you have to understand that when SEBI came in, SEBI made a very important rule. They said every application for shares in a company should be accompanied by a copy of the prospectus. SEBI made this point that every application for shares in a company, public issue of shares, whenever you give an application form, along with the form, you have to give a abridged prospectus. This was in those days when internet was not so preferred. DPs had not become so advanced. So most shareholders still preferred to take the prospectus and the application in physical form. Today, physical applications are not used. Today, you have a link. You go to your DP, you go to the DP will have a link, or the share transfer agents will have a link. Somebody has asked the question, who is the registrar to the issue and share transfer agent? Basically, these are service providers. Okay. For example, you might have heard of names like this, CARV, okay, or CANS, or in Chennai, we have a company called Cameo. These are all examples of share transfer agents. Now, the role share transfer agent and registrar to the issue differ based on the situation. Same company only will do the same work. Basically, this is data processing job. Data processing. In those days, physical application forms would be received from lakhs of shareholders. Now, these application forms need to be punched into the computer. And then the allotment process, the program needs to be run. And then the allotment is made, etc. All this needs computing and clerical work. So obviously, this is a one-time job. For a company, collecting money from the public issue is a maximum once in 4 years, once in 5 years. So this is not a regular job. So for this, they cannot hire new people. And they cannot use their existing finance team or secretarial team for this because they just don't have number of people. So there emerged a group of data processing capability people, including our great TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, who had computing capability and clerical labor they hired to data punch. I'm talking about good old days when you had COBOL. The programs are written in COBOL. Even then, TCS used to do it. They used to have battalion of data entry operators mechanically entering the data from the application form. It began there. So these people, when they were hired, whenever there was a public issue, you had to appoint a person called registrar to the issue, who is different from registrar of companies. Don't confuse. Registrar of companies, a government officer. They are called registrar because they maintain the register of members for the company. The registrar maintains the register of companies, whereas these registrars to the issue, who then become the share transfer agents, they maintain the register of members and register of debenture holders. You will see it when you come to management and administration, you will learn about this. These two important registers are maintained online in electronic form by these people, the registrar to the issue. So first time when the company goes for a public issue, they will appoint registrars to the issue. The registrars to the issue have certain duties. They are also bound by certain conditions. And so SEBI control is there. They are registered with SEBI. And later on, once the company shares are listed, dematerialized and listed, these registrars to the issue will automatically become share transfer agents. Based on number of members, number of ledger accounts. So each ledger, each member account, they will charge some 16 rupees, 17 rupees per annum for maintaining. So whenever a transfer is received, the company will send it. In fact, if it is based on dematerialized shares, online transaction, automatically from the depository participants, the original depositories, they will get. Electronically, they will get it. Any other offline transfer will be informed by the company to the registrars. Based on this, they will maintain the register. So the transfer will be recorded and all that. So they are called share transfer agents. Both are same company, but roles are different. In one role, They will be a part of the public issue. They will monitor the applications received. They will enter it. They will then get the rule from SEBI as to how to allot. Based on that, the allotment will be made. Allotment advices will be mailed to the people who applied, and then their registrar members will be updated. The allotment, the board of directors will be then given the report. Based on that, the board will pass a board resolution. Then the registrar members will be updated, and then there onwards they will become share transfer agents. Right? So this is a basically it's a, shall we say, outsourced activity. Companies do not want to do this activity because it's a one-off activity and there is no need for this. So this is registrar to the issue. See, the prospectus that is most used here is a kind of a hybrid where it is like the normal prospectus and it has the number of shares to be issued. But only thing it will have extra is it will give a price band. Instead of a price, it will give a price band, meaning lower price will be given and the upper price will be given. So a person applying would have the option to go with either lower or middle or somewhere within that range. Now then once all the applications come, they will decide which is the best price, and then the cutoff price will be decided. Once the cutoff price is decided, then anybody who is below the cutoff price, they won't get allotment. Above the cutoff price, they will get the allotment. Right? This is the most easy and preferred method. Red herring prospectus is still good where you are not having clarity about valuation. But many well-established listed companies going for further public offer or already well-established companies going for their IPO, they know very well they are going to be oversubscribed. So they will price their concern. They know what they are doing. So they would go for a price band and go ahead with a higher end price. They would prefer to take a risk. Okay, is the point. They would not go around this. But then the red herring prospectus is available to the company to find out the price. So the red herring prospectus is mainly a mechanism which is part of the price discovery process. Okay. So the point, coming back to the point, the applications were sent now in those days. They said every application should have a prospectus along with it. Now, prospectus is like a book, yeah. It will have about 16 to 20 pages, stapled, printed, costly. So if I have to give one application for one prospectus for every application, the public, I'll be ruined by the public issue itself. Okay. So companies and stock exchanges argued with SEBI. They said, no, it is not possible. So SEBI gave two options. One, they said, go for what is known as an abridged prospectus. Instead of giving the entire prospectus, a memorandum may be given, which will contain such salient features of a prospectus as may be specified by the SEBI. So SEBI then prescribed the abridged prospectus, and then they said every application for subscription of securities should be accompanied by abridged prospectus. So if you are giving physical form, you have to give abridged prospectus. But again, we have advanced further. Today, in PDF form, if you're okay for electronic form, if you don't want printed form, I can give you the entire prospectus, I say. Why should I not give? After all, you're going to download it onto your mobile or to your PDF or to your thing. That's what I'm saying. Anybody can go now. Recently, you find out which company came for public issue, go to that company's website or to find out who is the registrar to that issue. Okay, it will be one of these four guys only. TCS or CAMS or I think Carvey is not there now, I think. Cameo could also be there. So you go to their website also, you will find it. Downloadable. If you go to SEBI website, you will find it. It will be in PDF format. You can just download it and have a look at the way you go to Google and put so-and-so company prospectus, you will get it, download it. It will be available. It will go to the appropriate website and you will get a downloadable PDF file. Just download it and have a look at it. Is that okay? Now, so they said every application should be, and in fact, they went on to make it amended. They said for every 2 applications, you can print 1 abridged prospectus. The abridged prospectus will be hardly 1 or 2 pages. Okay. The rule is every application for subscription should be accompanied by abridged prospectus, right? So, exception again. Suppose, friends, what is underwriting means? Suppose the company goes for public issue. If all the shares are subscribed, it is fully subscribed. If it is more than the shares offered or subscribed, oversubscribed. But if less than the shares offered or subscribed, it is called undersubscribed. Now, when there is an undersubscription, there could be a problem. What problem? Because the company cannot allot. If 90% of the issue, number of shares issued, if 90% of the issue is not subscribed within 90 days, then the company cannot allot the shares. You'll see it when you come to allotment. Now, therefore, they are worried in case it doesn't come, what to do. So for that, they will go for what is known as underwriting. So just like you have brokers for promoting the issue, you have underwriters, people who are like insurance brokers. They will say, in case the issue is not fully subscribed, whatever is the deficit, whatever is the unsubscribed portion, that unsubscribed portion is also known as devolvement. You know what is involvement, right? INVOLVEMENT. Instead, you take the IN and you put DE, DEVOLVEMENT. Devolvement. Devolvement means certain portion of the public issue is not subscribed. To the extent it is not subscribed, these underwriters will buy the share. For which this is like an insurance policy. So the company will have to pay commission to these underwriters on the entire value of the issue. Suppose the subscription is fully subscribed, then underwriters have no job. It is like insurance premium, waste. For that year, it is waste. No, you insure your car, nothing happens. It's an expense, right? Similar. But suppose anything happens, they will compensate. No, it's like that. So they will buy the share. Thereby, you can go on with the public issue. But they will become the owner of the share. They will become the owner of the share. Later on, if the price goes up, they can actually sell and make a profit also. But as far as the company is concerned, it's a great relief because even if it's not fully subscribed, they can allot the shares to the underwriters and proceed with the allotment of shares, and they can start running the company. Okay. So this is underwriting. I'm explaining many things to you now itself, but more about underwriting when you come to share capital and debentures. At that time, I may not explain again. So please remember what is underwriting. See, even now abridged prospectuses are used, but today the real question should be, Mr. Thakur, is, are we giving printed application forms today? Is anybody applying for shares using printed application form? Nobody is applying using printed application form. Most of us are going through links. So we go to the registrar or we go through the company's own website, or most of us, the DPs. Now, our DP will give the link because the DP himself will get commission. Now, based on how many applications he procures, he will give commission. So he will promote it. So he will send a mail saying, please go through this link and apply. So the minute you go through that link, automatically your registered folio number will appear. And your DP ID will appear. So automatically you will apply for the number of shares, and then the payment also will be automated because DP already has your payment details. Your bank account details are with the DP, through which you make payment to him for the broking account. The same account you use for this, and you apply. And in case there is any refund or anything, the money will get credited to that bank account where you have with the DP. So today, since everything is electronic form, we are not bothered about application forms and abridged prospectus. Mr. Muhammad Aslam or whatever, please, if you want me to teach deemed prospectus, I will teach. If you want to study on your own, study on your own. But either way, please, do not put certain comments which are interrupting my lecture. You understand, no? This is not a conversation between you. Think about it. Imagine that this is a class. Will you be able to get up and talk like this in the class? So think like that now. Think you are sitting in the class. When I come to deemed prospectus, after I finish the deemed prospectus, this comment will be of great benefit to me. Let us see. If after my session also you are not able to understand deemed prospectus, then what to do? So till then, hold on. See, this Muhammad Aslam, this also shows that you are not able to control your mind. If you want to become a smart student learn to control. One way to control the mind is to control what you type, what you speak. So control. Whatever comes to your mind, don't put it in that query pad. Control. This is a very important exercise to you as a student. I've been observing it for so many classes, and I wanted to always tell this. You are an intelligent student, but you are allowing your mind to wander. Whatever comes to your mind, now you are putting it in the query pad. It's a dangerous habit. Control your mind. Put what is relevant and don't put what is not relevant to me or to you or to the other participants in this lecture. I'm able to understand that you had some difficulty in deemed prospectus. I'm going to teach that. At that time, we will see. Okay, Aram say wait and you will learn. Have the patience to wait. Correct. If company shares are undersubscribed, underwriter will purchase the shares. Absolutely correct. Underwriting means there will be persons, brokers who will be going to buy shares. Okay, thank you for, you are right. If you are stating your understanding, you are correct. My uncle applied from the deposit form in bank today. Okay, agreed. If your uncle is doing it, good. For him, they have to give an abridged prospectus. Okay, that is why mostly they will print abridged prospectus and keep it. Physical forms are also printed because some Buddhas still want to use only physical form and all. So still for that they keep it. But today, as most of you are youngsters, I'm sure you will know that the electronic form of application has come. Okay, so no, seriously, application form. Those days we used to go give it in the bank, and then seriously, that is too old here. Seriously, I'm telling you. Okay, if your uncle is still doing it, slowly educate him to come into electronic mode. Okay. Maybe, okay, now we come to deemed prospectus, which is a very, very interesting and important topic. Interesting topic, definitely. And so, basically, again, to understand it, deemed prospectus, you should understand what is it they are trying to prevent. See, first you should understand what is the fear in the law. What is the law of fear? Law's fear is that, see, basically, the prospectus contains certain data which is compulsory. Financial statement, risk factors, company management, whether they have had any, they have been arrested, all the type of factual information that generally we do not want to give. See, when you are writing your biodata, how you will write? Will you give all the bad things? No, only the good things. No. Like that company wants to give only good information about itself to the potential investor. But the law has given a format of prospectus where they have to give all the relevant data which is truthful and which has to be given. Now, how to circumvent it? What the company may do, instead of directly making an offer to the public, they will make an offer, they will make the allotment of share to a company, to a finance company, let us say, to an investment company, which is called an issuing house. That issuing house will take these shares, get these shares, and then that issuing house will in turn send letters or give advertisement, etc., for the sale of these shares. Now remember, when the issuing house does it, strictly speaking, it's not primary market. It is secondary market. See, I have got shares in, say, Reliance Industries. I am offering it to all of you. Strictly speaking, I don't have to give it the format of the prospectus. I can simply send a letter to you giving all sorts of great things about that company. Dubakur Limited is a great company, going to make money. The market momentum will take the price. Anybody who invests it now will get 3 times in through 2 years. All this nonsense I can put. Right? And I can ignore the format of prospectus. Now, this is the fear. So, in order to control this, they have brought about the concept of a deemed prospectus. Got it now? So, the idea is to prevent this issuing house to make some sort of a nonsense statement to the public. Instead, the issuing house also should comply with the rules relating to prospectus. Section 26 should apply to it. That is the goal of Section 25. First, you understand the basics. Then, so what is a deemed prospectus? it's a document containing offer of securities for sale. So, a document containing offer of securities for sale. Please note, at the time when the prospectus is issued, the shares have not come into existence. Company is not selling the shares. Company is announcing that is issuing the shares. The application is made. The shares are allotted. Only then the shares come into existence as goods. See, shares are basically movable goods. You studied it in Foundation, Sale of Goods Act, or maybe wherever, college, whatever. Say shares are movable goods. When do the goods come into existence? Only after allotment. Now, so these shares have been allotted. They have come into existence. They have been allotted to the issuing house. Now, the issuing house is making an offer of sale of securities. That offer of sale will be deemed to be a prospectus, provided that allotment of securities is made by a company with the intention, with the view, or with the intention to all or any of those securities being offered for sale to the public. So, where the intention of the allotment of that securities is with a view, or the intention is that those securities will be offered for sale to the public. If that is so, then that document which contains the offer for sale will be deemed to be a prospectus. So all the rules relating to prospectus will apply to that document. It should be in the same format, dated, signed, registered with registrar, registration. Everything will apply to that deemed prospectus, provided the intention. Now here comes the real problem. How do I know what is the intention? Obviously, the company will say, no. Our intention was never to make a public issue. No. We just allotted to that fellow. That fellow went on to make a offer to the public. Not my problem. Like that. How to then freeze it? How to say it is intention is clear? For that, they have given two presumptions. Presumption as to eventual offer to public. When can the government strictly say, hey, Baba, your intention is to offer to the public? Ma? How can they say that? For that, So, Supradaji, this is different from offer for sale. Okay. I will explain offer for sale to you shortly. Okay, don't confuse this with offer for sale. For the moment, you please ignore, I'm going to ignore the question you have asked. Okay, the idea is that issuing house is making an offer to the public for sale. This is different from OFS, offer for sale. Please, don't hurry. We will come to OFS a little later, which is different from what we are talking about here. Here, please look at the scenario. The company has allotted shares to some issuing house. That issuing house is making an offer to the public for sale, or it is making an offer for sale. How to say that the intention of the company for allotting it was that these shares will be offered to the public for sale? Then either of two conditions if they are satisfied. Any one condition if it is satisfied, then the presumption is that the intention was to make an offer to the public. The allotment was made with a view to make an offer to the public. So what are the two things? One, it shall be shown that A. That's what I want you to clearly understand. The word offer for sale has another technical meaning. In this context, it is not. Okay. So that is why I'm clarifying to you. There is something called offer for sale officially. I'll explain it to you later. Right now, basically, this is the generic word. An offer is being made for sale of securities. Okay. So your question is for proper offer for sale. Okay. I will explain that. But having said that, this offer can also be made both with IPO and FPO. Doesn't matter. One more thing. When the company does this type of nonsense, they will not go for IPO or FPO. That is what they want to avoid. See, they don't want to make an IPO or FPO. They don't want to go to the public in that route. Instead, they want to make an allotment to an issuing house, which in turn is making an offer to the public. Right? How to say that that offer is a deemed prospectus. First condition, that offer, or rather, one condition which may have to be satisfied. That offer for sale to the public was made within 6 months after the allotment or agreement to allot. Within 6 months. So I make the allotment. Within 6 months, the shares are offered to the public. 6 months. Then it is a deemed prospectus. So I made the allotment. Within 3 months, the fellow made the offer to the public. Nothing has to be proved. There is a presumption that this is a deemed prospectus straight away. And that offer document to the public should follow the same rule as prospectus. Or this or is very significant because any one condition is satisfied, it becomes a deemed prospectus. This or is very significant. Both the conditions need not be satisfied. Both the conditions need not be satisfied. Any one condition is satisfied, it is enough. Okay. So the second point that may have to be satisfied is you show that at the date when the offer was made, the whole consideration is yet to be received by the company, had not been received by it. Suppose the shares are 10 rupees paid up capital, premium 25 rupees. At the time when the allotment was made, only 5 rupees was received and half the premium. Balance was to be paid later. Now please understand, even though the offer is made after 6 months, still, if the consideration is yet to be received on the date when the offer was made, my dear friends, not date when the allotment is made, date when the offer is made. Offer is made 9 months later. At that time you ask, have you got the full money for these shares? No, still he has to pay half. Sorry, even though it is made after 6 months, since the consideration has not been fully received, then it is a deemed, that offer should be a deemed prospectus. So either or condition. Okay. So within 6 months, fully paid, no, even if it is fully paid up, within 6 months, it is a deemed prospectus. Beyond 6 months, partly paid, deemed prospectus. Beyond 6 months, partly paid, 100% deemed prospectus. Okay. But suppose it is made, okay, beyond 6 months and full consideration is received by the issuing house, no problem at all. See, because the concept of a issuing house is not wrong. Okay. Is not wrong. Because in those days in England, this was a common feature. When a man had a project or when a man had an idea, he had to equip himself and go. And for which purpose, what he did was he promoted the company, he formed it, then he allotted the share to the issuing house. The issuing house gave him the full money. See, that is a point. Or that he took that money and or maybe part of the money, he took it, he equipped his ship and he went to Argentina for searching for silver mines in Argentina. That was the project. So thereafter that issuing house came out with a prospectus, which they issued to the public, collected the money, etc., etc. This is the good old method in 1700 AD, 1800 AD during British period. Subsequently, post-independence in India, this approach was misused by people. Somebody is asking, what is the benefit to the company? Simple. Boss, these are all Dubakur companies. These are all companies that are useless. So if they issue a prospectus, they have to tell the truth. So they want to avoid it. So they go through the issuing house, the issuing house will be a broker. That broker will in turn promote the share informally through letters and all. If any one of these conditions satisfied, that letter he sends should be in the format of a prospectus when all the truth has to be told. Okay. Benefit of the company is it can collect money even though it is not capable of going to the public. No public will buy it if they see the prospectus. Such a company will be able to issue shares through the issuing house. Okay. Now, right. So, why will the company show the offer to sale after the allotment? Because allotment has been now done. Company will not show, See, as far as company is concerned, company gets the money. Once the issuing house issues, see, let us say that the issuing house is not fully paid. Once the issuing house gets the money from the public, they will give the money to the company. So the company will get its thing. The purpose here is not to make profit. The purpose here is you will be able to make a public issue without issuing a prospectus to the public, quietly going through the route of a issuing house. The law is trying to curb it. How? They're not saying don't do it. They're saying go ahead and do it, no problem. But if any one of these two conditions is satisfied, then that document which you are issuing should comply with the requirement of prospectus. I think many of you are confused. I have done my best to clarify, but let us see. By the questions, I'm able to see that some of you are yet to get clarity. Just to get these two conditions in your mind and take that or in very clearly. In fact, the institute also given the what shall I say, flow chart. Anyway, before I go to the flow chart, let us see the questions. Issuing house is making offer to the company. What is the benefit to company? That's what I told you. This is the benefit. No benefit. This is a company that cannot go to the public. It has so many weaknesses. To cover up all that, they are allotting the shares to issuing house. Issuing house will then send some gups-up document to the public. And public, as usual, donkeys, they'll believe it and buy. In order to protect the public, in order to protect the investor, what does the law say? If one of these two conditions is satisfied, then that document will be a deemed prospectus and it has to comply with the disclosure requirements of a prospectus. Right? I have explained to you to the best of my ability. Let us see if still have doubt. Here in deemed prospectus, can we say that allotment is made to issuing house for offer? Exactly. See, that is the intention. But the presumption is to be proved. Only then the intention is proved. Okay. Suppose the issuing house makes the offer after 6 months and the entire amount is received by the issuing house at the time of offer. No problem. Go ahead and do it. It is not deemed a prospectus. You can go ahead. After 6 months, full money received. Then what type of prospectus will be? Nothing. It will be just an offer. You can do whatever you want. Like if not, it's not a prospectus at all. It is not coming. Okay, let's put it this way. Try to understand it in this way. Mr. Sandeep Tope, it is not coming within the purview of section 25. You tried any nonsense you want in that letter. Thereafter, the public need not be protected because 6 months is over. Okay, so it's a private sale by one party to another party. Okay, they put 6 months as some sort of a duration. See, because company is also in a hurry. Everybody is in a hurry now. So 6 months, they want to finish it within 6 months. That is why they've given 6 months. Call made by company in accounting is deemed a prospectus. I'm not able to understand your question, Mr. Piyush. Call made by company in accounting. I don't understand this. If you want, you can redraft your question. I will try to understand and answer. It is written consideration not received by company from broker or from members. Whatever. The consideration should not be received. That's all. The company should not have received the consideration. Okay. If offer is made after 6 months, but allotment is not done and application money is fully received. No. Offer is made by who? Allotment is already over. I think, Abdulji, you are not able to understand at all. Allotment has been already made to the issuing house. Now, the second transaction is only a sale. So, there is no question of allotment there. Allotment already over. Shares have come into existence. Now, the issuing house will sell to the public. Transfer. It will be a transfer. Maybe if you want to change the wording, you can say, if offer is made after 6 months, but allotment is not done and application money is fully. Sir, you are confused. Totally confused. Don't bother. See, the issuing house is already the owner of these shares. They are only selling. Then they are owing money to the company. That is between them and the company. On the date of offer, money was not given to the company. That is all. If that condition is satisfied, that letter becomes a prospectus. That offer letter becomes a prospectus. Why don't you hold on to the single thought and let go of everything else? You will become clear. Don't bother about instead of making permutation and combination and confusing yourself. Understand the principle involved here, which is all there is to it. Okay? Don't get confused. Company, allot shares, issuing house. Now the shares are belonging to the issuing house. Issuing house is making an offer to the public. Will this offer be deemed or not? Answer. Was the offer made has the allottee sold shares to the public within 6 months? Within 6 months. Yes. Then straight away it is a deemed prospectus. Even if one condition is satisfied, it is a deemed prospectus. Your answer is no. Then has the allottee paid full consideration to company before offer of sale for sale to public? Yes. Then both the conditions are not satisfied. It is not a deemed prospectus. That is all. What type of prospectus is it? I don't need to ask. It is not a deemed prospectus. Section 25 will not apply. That document can do anything. You can write anything in that document. No, here again you say it was not made within 6 months, but the allottee has not paid the full consideration. Then also it becomes deemed prospectus. If both the conditions are satisfied, or even if one condition is satisfied, it will be a deemed prospectus. Okay, it's a very simple concept. Okay, but I have discovered over these more than 30 years of teaching, I have discovered one thing. There are students who can confuse themselves. There are students who are excellent in confusing themselves. Okay, so always be a student who will understand, not a student who will confuse yourself. So this is a very, very simple thing. Okay, either this is satisfied or this is satisfied. For example, in this case, what has happened? The allottee has sold share to the public within 6 months. No. Okay. Then has the allottee paid full consideration? No. Either condition will put you into deemed prospectus. Okay. You could have one category, ma. I do agree with you. You could have one category where the allottee has sold shares to the public within 6 months and paid full consideration and has not paid. Both the conditions may be, that is not technically not covered in this. Are you able to understand? Technically, but that's okay. So long as you understand both the conditions are satisfied, what is there? Even if one condition is satisfied, deemed prospectus is triggered. Okay, the idea is to help you to learn. Okay, if you don't want to use the issuing house, if you like the word allottee, use the word allottee. Okay, I am using the word issuing house from the old law. If you think it is not comfortable for you, ignore the word issuing house. Rather use the word allottee, where the shares are allotted to a person and that allottee. Okay, if you think the word allottee is comfortable for you, use the word allottee. If you think that you don't want to use the word issuing house, don't use the word issuing house. Use the word allottee. Okay, got it? In those days, the word issuing house was because see, actually this was done in England once upon a time, and that in fact this is done by specialized investment bankers. It is not something illegal, but the problem is such a method was misused by the companies for circumventing prospectus. Therefore, they put this clause, section 25. Anybody in the world can be allottee. Usually, think about it. Who can be the allottee? Allottee should be financially powerful person. Yeah. Why? Because he should pay the entire money to the company and be willing to hold it and make an offer to the public, sell the share to the public. So these are usually investment bankers, brokers, large brokers in Mumbai only will become allottee. They are usually called issuing house or investment bankers. That's why I use the word issuing house. But since Vedant Vara is only going to go by the institute material and nothing else, I will agree with him. You don't use the word issuing house. You go by the word allottee. Because allottee is there in the material, I think. Okay. Issuing house is allottee. Issuing house is allottee, yes. I'm using the word issuing house. If it is hurting you, in fact, you notice that issuing house is not there even in my slide. I'm using it because I'll tell you why I'm using it. Because in those days, the word issuing house was in the original section 64. Old law 64 was deemed prospectus. There, the word issuing house used to come. Because I am also Buddha, no, so I'm remembering the old provision and telling. Okay? Ignore it. Ignore. Allottee, one person to whom allotment is made is called allottee. The person who is making the allotment is called allotter. What is being made is called allotment. So the person to whom allotment is made. But think about it. Who can be the allottee here? You and I cannot become here. The company is wanting to sell 1 million shares to you directly. You have to take it. And you should have the financial capability and the marketing ability to sell those shares. Usually the same guy would also be a merchant banker. Okay. They are basically investment bankers. who have the ability to sell or push the shares. Instead of going through the format of prospectus, they are trying to circumvent it. If they do that, if any one of these two conditions is satisfied, it will become a deemed prospectus. And once it is a deemed prospectus, the provisions of section 26, Abdul, it is not Bear Act. It is B-A-R-E, Bear. B-A-R-E. Bear is Balu. Okay, not Balu. Bear, B-A-R-E, Bear. Check up now. Why don't you go and check up, Abdul? Instead of asking me, you have access to the MCA website. Now go and check up, see what says in the Bear Act and educate me. See, I am a teacher who doesn't like to spoon feed his students. I like to give you the knowledge and then make you go. See, how long are you going to ask questions and somebody will give the answer? You have to start learning how to get your answers also. Okay? No problem. Start slow. Yesterday, I showed you how to go to the Bear Act. Go to section 25. See, okay, whatever it says in the Bear Act, whatever it says in the Institute of Material, have you understood the principle involved here? That is all. Okay? These shares are allotted to somebody. The person to whom the allotment is made, shall we use that word? Instead of using the word allottee, issuing house, shall we use the word the person to whom the allotment is made? That person is now making the offer. If he makes it within 6 months, deemed prospectus. If the person to whom the allotment is made has not paid the full consideration before the offer, then also it is a deemed prospectus. Try to hold on to this concept. Everything else is correct. This whole point of this section is to prevent circumventing the elaborate provisions as to content of prospectus. Once you say it is a deemed prospectus, then the provisions of section 26 as to content of prospectus will apply to the document containing offer for sale also. Okay. The word offer for sale is unfortunately used here, but it has another meaning. We'll see that later. Means any offer made for the sale of securities is an offer for sale, but offer for sale has some peculiar situation. We'll see that. I'll explain it to you. See, usually when we say offer for sale, when we use the abbreviation OFS, what we are talking about is, I'll explain. Once I finish deemed prospectus, I'll explain it. I'll explain offer for sale also. Now, in addition to the content of prospectus, in addition to the normal content, that document also should state the net amount of the consideration received or to be received by the company in respect of the securities. Means see, imagine if this is given enough, now who will buy after that? Yeah. See, you are asking the ultimate buyer to pay 300 rupees per share, but you are telling him in the document, incidentally, we have paid only 150, balance 150 yet to be paid. So is he a fool or what to give you 100, 300? Okay. So in a way, you know, the minute this section came, nobody will go through this process of allotting within 6 months or making the offer within 6 months or not paying the full consideration. Okay. So if somebody wants to go to this route, what they should do? They should get hold of a good, powerful financial guy. He should be willing to pay the full amount now or before the offer. And also he should make the offer 6 months later. So taking all this into account, if somebody is willing to do it, go and do it. Yeah, no problem. We are not preventing you. But if any one of these conditions is satisfied, out. It becomes a deemed prospectus. And the time and place at which the contract, whereunder the said securities have been allotted, also may be inspected. So there will be an agreement for sale of those securities. Now, that agreement also can be seen. Okay, which, believe me, once this section, actually, this is not a new section of 2013 law. This is as old as 1974. Old 64 section this is nothing but 64 of the 1956 Act. So it is just surviving that, because if they don't bring 64 here, again this practice will start. Therefore, they have reproduced 64 as 25 here. That's all. Okay. So this is very old concept. It is not something new or latest. Sir, I have explained in the most simple language possible, sir. It's not fair on your part, Vedantji. You ask a specific doubt, I will clarify. Repeating, not possible. Repeating, not possible. If you ask a specific doubt, I will explain. Okay. Otherwise, I think I may have to plead. I am sorry. Anyway, one more test question is there. Maybe if you take this question, maybe you will understand the concept. Using this test question, I will try to explain to you. Okay. See, so go through this, and using numbers now, it may be easier to understand. So Capricorn Limited allotted 10 million shares of rupees 10 each to Silver Tongue Financial Advisory Services Private Limited at a premium of rupees 25 per share on 5/2/2020. So when was the allotment made? 5/2/2020. Now Capricorn Limited was paid the entire consideration. What is the consideration? 10 million into 35 rupees. Am I correct? 10 million into 3. So there is 350 million shares. Right? To be. Now, this was paid on 15/2/2020. Entire consideration has been paid. Silver Tongue Financial Advisory Services made an offer of the shares allotted to them to the public. They just made an offer. If we got the shares of Capricorn Limited, in case you want, you can buy it. So that offer letter of offer was sent on their letterhead, making tall promises about the future performance of Capricorn. Tall promise means false. Okay, tall actually means colloquial term in English, meaning exaggerated promises. Exaggerated, not correct, incorrect promises are made. Okay. Now, so is this letter of offer deemed to be a prospectus? Friend Vedant Ji Vora, concentrate. Come to the two conditions. Ask the first condition. What is that? Has the allottee sold shares to the public within 6 months? Ask that question. Simple question, you ask it. Okay, so the allotment is made on 5/2. So 4/3, 4/4, 5/5, 4/6, 4/7, 4/8. So on 4th of August 2020, 6 months will get over. This letter of offer was sent to the people on 1st of August. That means the offer was made within 6 months. Therefore, the first condition is satisfied. The offer for sale to the public was made within 6 months. Then automatically it is a deemed prospectus. Okay, it is a deemed prospectus. Since the offer for sale was made within 6 months from the date of allotment, even though the entire consideration has been received there, since the offer was made within 6 months, correctly said by Abdul and others. Okay, why? Your internet connection is unstable. So why is it not? Because it is made after 6 months, and the entire consideration has been received. So has the allottee sold shares to the public within 6 months? No, he made it on 15/8 in the second case. Has the allottee paid full consideration of the company before offer for sale to public? Yes. It is not a deemed prospectus. Okay. So that is all. Okay. This is all there is to it, Vedant Ji. Nothing else. Have you understood now, Vedant, or still you are unable to understand the concept? If so, then you ask me what you have not understood. Give one more variation. Suppose Silver Tongue Financial Advisory has not paid the full consideration. Suppose they have not paid the full consideration on 15/2. On the offer date of 1/8, they have not made the full consideration. Okay. Then also it doesn't matter because the offer is made within 6 months, straight away deemed prospectus. Suppose on 15/8 when they are making the offer, on that date also the full consideration is not paid. Then what will happen now? Has the allotee sold shares to the public within 6 months? No. 15/8. Has the allotee paid full consideration? No. Then it will become a deemed prospectus, provided the consideration is not fully paid. In the example given, the consideration is fully paid. Suppose if the consideration is not paid, then so these are the two conditions. Okay. Now I have explained with one example also. Now it is only fair for you, Vedant, to either say you have still understood or you say you are still not understood. Please say. If you have not understood, now you have a duty as a student. You know what? You have to tell me where you have not understood. See, this is what I'm expecting from student. Instead of blindly putting, please explain again. Okay? How many times can a poor fellow keep on explaining? Yeah. Think like that also. So I'm not a robo, right? So another suggestion for people who are not able to understand when I'm explaining first time, maybe because of English. My English may be slightly more complicated. I'm trying to dumb down. I'm trying to explain in simple English. Okay. And I have made an example. With example, I have explained this. Okay. So if you're still not able to understand, then what I suggest, this is a video. The video tape is available. Download it. Play it 3 or 4 times. Suddenly you'll find you'll start understanding it. The same effect now. Instead of Srikanth explaining again and again, the video will run 3 times. 3 times. But if you still have not understood, then it is beyond Srikanth's ability to understand. What you need is a faculty. 100% you will need a Hindi faculty who will explain in Hindi to you, which I cannot do. Okay? Please understand. Vedant, come on. Okay? Please. Have you understood or not? Put it, come out with your view, and then I will. Yeah. That is why I'm giving this practical example. I was 100% sure that after the practical example, nobody can have any doubt. And basic question here is whether such a document of letter of offer will be a deemed prospectus or not. In the exam, this is how the question will come. Okay. If some people still have doubt what to do, I know, see that way I may not be a very popular faculty for people who are expecting Hindi to come occasionally for teaching. I may not be very popular, but let us not forget that this is a national level Board of Studies ka video. There are people who may not understand Hindi listening to this lecture. For them, can I explain in Tamil? Can I explain in Malayalam? Can I explain in Kannada? Can I explain in Telugu? Can I explain in whichever language? Nagamis? Not possible. No? So, English is the language of choice here. Try to understand. I know Vedantji, I may be hurting you a little emotionally, but kindly bear with me. I'm doing my best to explain to you. Also, Chaddaji, I'm doing my best to explain to you. I'm going slow. You also should kindly help me by concentrating. Also, asking doubt, instead of asking me to repeat, you ask me specific doubt. I will answer. Specific doubt, I will answer. Now, I was constantly telling Suprata not to ask me question on, OFS. Because, see, the word offer for sale has another meaning. I'll explain to you. Sometimes what happens now, the existing promoters who are owning shares in that company, along with the public issue, they will also sell their shares to the public. They will offer their shares to the public. That is called offer for sale. The existing promoters, the owners of the company, who are already holding shares in the company, they may also sell some portion, not entirely they cannot sell. Some portion they might sell to the public, some kind of an exit for them, because their money is locked up in that business. Here is one golden opportunity for them to get out. Not fully, but a portion to take it out by way of premium. So they are allowed to go at the same pricing, etc. But the offer for sale document that they are issuing to the public, usually the prospectus will be prospectus come offer for sale. If they are having a separate OFS, offer for sale document, that document should comply with the provisions of prospectus. That is all. That is why that offer for sale has a slightly different meaning. If you see, many companies do this, especially the government of India does it a lot. The government of India, for example, the government of India is now going to go for an IDBI, privatization. So they're actually, in that case, they're offloading their shares. The government of India and LIC are offloading their shares, literally selling their shares to the bidders. But suppose instead of doing that, see, IDBI is already a listed company. Instead of doing that, suppose they make a further public offer to the Indian public, wherein they are also holding IDBI shares now. These IDBI shares will be offered by the government to the public. That is called offer for sale. Along with the public issue of prospectus, they will also make an offer for sale. So the public will know clearly that they are buying from the promoter also. Okay. And the entire thing will be given to the public. So same price. Whatever price is for the FPO or IPO, same price will be applicable to the OFS also. Promoter will get the same price. So the document, offer for sale document, should be in the same format as the prospectus. Usually what they do, they combine the two documents and say combined prospectus come offer for sale of, by like that. Thank you, Vedant. I was thinking that the securities were allotted to a general public person and not to company. With this, now I understand that the services limited is now be further selling the shares, and if the conditions are fulfilled, then when the okay. Now now how clearly you are putting. Huh? See, now I also know that you know. Thank you, sir. Correct. No, so that is why I use the word issuing house. Now you understand why I use the word issuing house, because this Silver Tongue Financial Advisory Services is an issuing house. He's basically an investment banker who would do this, who would be specialized thing. They would know how to value that business. See, it's a good service that an investment banker can do. Okay. But if they want to prevent misuse of this, therefore they put these two conditions. Again, you don't have to think. Now I understood, because I was thinking that then where will be further sold, it will be down to be right, sir. Please tell me if I'm wrong. No, you are not wrong at all. You have got confused that it will be allotted to general public. No. See, that is the idea. Now, I don't want to go directly to the general public. If I want to go, what I should do, I should give all sorts of truthful statements in the prospectus. I don't want to do that. Instead, what I do, I allot to Silver Tongue. That Silver Tongue makes a letter wherein they make tall promises. That is what is being prevented here. So if that offer is made on 1/8, then it has to comply with the prospectus. Now your real question will be, if it is made on 15/8, can Silver Tongue give false promises? If they do that, they will also be guilty, but not under prospectus. Whoever buys from them can file a suit against them. Think about it. Suppose I offer shares in a company to you. Generally, I'm offering shares in a company to you. I'm offering to sell it to you. Who should take care? Who should take care? Normally, who should take care? As per your sale of goods, caveat emptor, na? Buyer beware. So you should take care. But in this one case, the law says for 6 months or till that entire consideration is paid, if he makes the offer, we will protect you. We will protect you. Beyond 6 months, and if he's paid the full consideration and is making an offer, buyer beware. This is the general principle. Beautiful, sir. Thank you very much for that confirmation given to me. You are absolutely correct in your understanding with regard to this. Okay. It will be deemed to be absolutely correct. If the conditions are fulfilled, make it slight changing. If any one of the conditions is fulfilled, then it will be done. But not premium. No. They have paid the entire, including premium. The 10 plus 25. And sale made by allotee after 6 months, then the answer would remain the same. Yeah. If the entire consideration is paid and after 6 months, then it is not a deemed prospectus. Sale by Air India, by government to Tatas is not an offer for sale. Because that's what I'm saying. The public should be involved. So suppose instead of selling it to Tata, the government had come out with a public issue. Air India had come out with a public issue. Along with the public issue, they had also gone for selling the government car shares. That would be an offer for sale. Or if the government did not make a public issue, they only sold the shares to the Indian public. I think LIC is an example of offer for sale. A life insurance corporation is an offer for sale. Where in LIC, the government had shares. So the government sold its shares to the public. Along with the public issue, they also made an OFS. Life Insurance Corporation is an example of a OFS. Air India is a pure sale. Similar to, see, IDBI, government is holding shares in IDBI. Those shares are not going to be sold. That is not offer for sale. That is a straight bid. It's part of the privatization. See, India is going consistently for privatization. So slowly government is selling its stake, or stake means shares held in a company is called stake. It's slowly selling its shares held by the government in a company is called stake. The word stake. So the government is reducing the stake by selling the shares, okay, to the highest bidders. That is different. Air India is the example of sale by the government of its shares to Tata, not offer for sale. When an offer is made to the public for sale of the shares by the owner, existing owner, the promoter, it is called OFS, offer for sale. There should be an offer to the public. If OFS is made, it will impact on the company. Yeah, because see, think about it. When the company goes for public issue, the offer for sale is also made. To the extent of the OFS, the company won't get the money now. That premium will go to the promoter. But still, in some cases where the promoters have been holding for a long time and a small portion of their holding is being sold, the SEBI will permit it to be done. Nothing wrong in it. Okay. But impact on the company will be to that the company won't get money. That's okay. Otherwise, as far as the company is concerned, the liability is the same. Na? Am I correct? At the time of winding up, whatever I have to pay to the promoter, I'll pay to the donkey who buys it now. From the company's point of view, no change in the liability. But for the promoter, he'll get a profit. He would have sold his share and got some cash released from the business. It's more of a financial decision. So that's why I did not want you to confuse this letter of offer. So for the sake of Supradaji, what we will do, instead of using offer of sale, we'll say containing letter of offer. Letter of offer of securities. Letter of offer of sale. It's a letter of offer. Okay. Now, when I make a prospectus, it is an invitation to treat. It is based on those terms and conditions which are contained in the prospectus that the application was received. It is based on those terms and conditions that they have said they will give the money to us. Suppose after taking the money from the public, if there is any deviation or variation, then that is not to be allowed, right? So funds raised from the public shall be used strictly in accordance with the terms contained in the prospectus, right? Whatever. See, you are saying that you are going to use this money for some such activity. You have to use it only for that activity. You are saying that the money will be used for purchasing a land at such and such a price. We accepted that. Your evaluation report has been given. We accepted that. You are also disclosing that the land belongs to the managing director. We accepted that also because it's an arm's length transaction. We said no problem because, okay, the MD is selling it to the company, agreed. But and the public money is being used to buy it, agreed. But the price at which the land is being bought is the same that the MD would have got from an unconnected third party. So the company, the deal is an arm's length deal. The same price that we would have paid to an unconnected third party. If you want to buy land in that place, whatever rate you will pay to anybody other than the MD, you're going to pay to the MD. So you have disclosed all that. Pakka, we have seen. Now you want to change. Now you want to vary the terms. Sorry, after receiving the money, no. So there is a prohibition on deviation by way of issue proceeds for investing in equity shares of any other listed company. Once you take money from the public, it should be used only for the purpose mentioned in the prospectus. It should not be again invested in another listed company. not allowed. There is a prohibition. Why? Because we didn't give money for you to invest in that company. If we want to invest in that company, we would have invested. Why you should invest for us? We invested in you, your business. Invest that money in your business. Basically, this is nothing but doctrine of ultra vires. Why it's doctrine of ultra vires? Because in a way, the prospectus defines the scope of the powers of the company. In a way, the prospectus limits what the company can do with the money raised from the public. The prospectus puts a limitation on what can be done with the money raised from the public issue. Whatever is stated in the prospectus only can be done. Beyond the prospectus, if you go, it will become beyond, right? Ultra vires. So obviously, it cannot apply totally. Doctrine of ultra vires is applicable to memorandum and articles, right? So blindly you cannot apply. So with suitable changes only you have to apply it here. But the principle is the same. The prospectus defines the scope of what can be done with the money. If you do something else, it is going beyond the powers. That is prohibited. That is void. Yeah. There, if you don't do it in accordance with the object class, here there is no object class. So you can't ask, sir, where is the object clause in prospectus? Like that, you should not ask. That is why we say with suitable changes. So the prospectus will contain the project, will contain what is the purpose for which the money is being raised. That will become the object. That is what we mean by suitable changes. So if you do anything which is not in accordance with the terms, then that is void. Okay. Okay, still you want to, there are some minor variations. Within that framework, there is a minor variations. Then variations in the terms of any contract mentioned in prospectus or object stated therein to be approved by the company in meeting by special resolution. For example, you had an agreement with the MD by which you agreed to buy the land from him. Now, you find that there is a slight issue there. So maybe you want to pay him a little more, or you want to do some other change in the terms, whatever you want to vary. The terms of any contract mentioned in the prospectus, or if you want to vary the objects, then you have to pass a special resolution. And the details of, do you remember this? Similar provision is there for change in object class. Suppose the company has gone for a public issue, and after going for the public issue, the money remains unutilized. Do you remember? We studied in incorporation. Unutilized. At that time, if the company wants to amend the object class, right, then you have to pass a special resolution. Also, in case any shareholder do not agree to be, then they should be given an exit option. Meaning, in this case, whatever money they paid, you give it back to them. If substantial portion are dissenting, then you cannot do it, because say if you're going to repay 50%, then how will you go ahead with the project? Okay, so it will become a bigger issue. So you have to abandon it. That's the point. You have to abandon it. You cannot do it. If a few shareholders say, I want my money, you can give. Let's say 5% say, reach out of the give the money and send them off. But if 40% of them say no, then not only will it become an issue, then SEBI will come for an investigation. What is happening here? You are taking money from the public. Now you are varying the terms. What are you doing, Baba? So they will come in with a investigation, and that's it. End of story. Okay. So with small variations in terms of the contract, small variation in the objects. For example, you want to set up a new factory. You decided to set up the factory, for example, in some area where you honestly thought it is possible. License was not given. You know what happened in West Bengal for Ratan Tata himself. So now you find you have to go to Gujarat. Chalo, such variations are okay, because genuinely you can go to them and say, Baba, we want to start nano production, but this fellow is doing, this lady is doing like this. We are going there. Kindly permit us. They will permit. Nothing wrong in that. They'll pass a special resolution. Okay. So such genuine variations, no problem. But if the variations are not reasonable or they're doing some nonsense, then it will become a problem. Okay. The details of the variations are to be published in 2 newspapers, English and vernacular, in the city where the registered office of the company is situated. Idea is to give it publicity, okay, and so that more people will know. Like that. Okay, that's the point. This is again where exit offer means. See, exit. If suppose you have paid money to me and you are saying you are not interested in continuing, you want to exit. What I should do? I should pay the money to you back. Obviously, you have paid it, and I've been holding it for 3 months now with interest. That's called exit option. This will be prescribed by SEBI. So all this will happen under the close monitoring of SEBI, because once the company gets into IPO or listing, SEBI will be closely monitoring this fellow, continuously monitoring what this fellow is doing. See, 40%, 30%, don't do that percentage business. Yeah, special resolution can be passed even with 10 people. I have done it. That is not the point. Point is dissenting fellows. Dissenting shareholders may not attend and vote against. Even if they say, I do not agree, you have to pay them. If 40% are dissenting, forget special resolution. Even if special resolution is passed, you have to give them exit option. If 40% you give them back the money, with the remaining 60%, how you will run? So this will become a bigger issue. And the SEBI will want to know what is that change that is so bad that nobody wants to stay. It will become a bigger story. Okay, is the point. So exit offer means exit option, not exit offer. Exit option means they have to pay back the money with interest. That's what it means. To exit. Okay, good. Section 28 of the Act deals with offer for sale, OFS. Section 28, I already explained to you. So any members of the company may, in consultation with the board, offer their shares to the public. Okay. Those board here is the board of the company, board of directors. Those members who are so offering their shares shall authorize the company to take all action in respect of the OFS. So what the members will say, usually any member is used here. Any member means any member can do, but usually it will be the promoters who will do it. And some promoters and their friends and relatives will go for that. I have a feeling recently, I remember there was a sale by TVS Logistics. If I remember right, TVS Logistics. I forget the name now. Still, it's called TVS Logistics. They went for a public issue combined with the OFS, offer for sale, where some of the promoters and employees, there were some employees also who were holding shares. So they were given an option to sell the shares through OFS. Got it? So employee shareholders, promoter shareholders, any members, okay, can go. Those members who are so offering their shares shall authorize the company to take. So what the board will do is, when they go for the public issue, along with that, they will combine the OFS. Okay. So any cost that the company is incurring for this, the members will have to reimburse. Usually, the merchant banker who is handling the public issue, he will handle the OFS also. Whatever charges they will decide. See, these guys are getting huge premium. They wouldn't mind paying some small amount as expenses. Who will buy? See, in the case of dissenting, in the case of prospectus, the public, they are only given the money now. Their money will have to be refunded. See, in this case, at the time of variation, there is no allotment. If the allotment has already been made, then the promoters are allowed to buy it. Something like that has to be done. Okay, some option has to be given to these people to go. The promoters will have to buy. Okay, it will be a mess. Believe me when I say that. Once you go that route itself, you will come back. If you are an intelligent chartered accountant advising your company, you would not even go there. You will say, please don't do this variation. If so many people are against it, don't do it. Like that you will. If it is just about 3 people, 5 people, totally about 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, promoters will buy it. Straight away, after all the promoters are there, they want this to happen. They will simply call these guys and say, what's your problem? You're not interested, give your share. Go, take, what is the price you want? Today's listing, so today's price is there, take it. You want another 5% more, pay, take it. Go. Don't stand in front of me, get out. If it is a small, 5 people, 10 people, okay. But suppose 40% want, who will buy here? Nobody will buy. So it's a deadlock. Don't go that way at all is what I would say. Once you see so many people dissenting, that itself is a sign not to go there, is the point. So this is meaning of vernacular, mother tongue, local language, regional language. Okay. For example, Maharashtra, vernacular is Marathi. Okay. Andhra, vernacular is Telugu. Kerala, vernacular is Malayalam. Vernacular means the local language, not mother tongue straight away. Don't say mother tongue because vernacular is the local language, the language which is spoken in the local area. That's the point. So you can't say mother tongue also. Vernacular. Dissenting shareholder means a shareholder who do not agree. Those who do not agree called dissenting shareholder. See, there is a variation in the terms. These dissenting shareholders, that is, those who do not agree. They are saying, I do not agree. Okay. They are called dissenting shareholder. This word dissenting, you will come across it many times. So try to remember the meaning. Dissenting shareholder or dissenting people are those who do not agree. That's why I have given simple terms also, I have given the meaning. Dissenting shareholders, that is, those who do not agree, they should be given an exit option. Okay. See, simple was, we are all going for a tour. Okay. We decide to go to certain places. I have taken money from you. Then I give the itinerary. Then somewhere before the tour starts, 10 days before, I come back to you and say, 2 places we are not going. No, some of you are saying, chalo, okay, no problem. You will go ahead, make adjustment in the amount, give us back, or whatever you do, we will adjust it. Okay. Some 3 people are coming and saying, no, sir, we don't want to come, sir, like that. Okay, don't come. Whatever money you paid, you take it and go run. That's all. Don't be here, get out. That's all. Dissenting means not agreeing. So always, when I have people who are not whenever I find a dissenting people in any group, I quietly try to send them out. Because the minute you have one dissenting now, one guy who's not agreeing now, that fellow will poison everybody. So anywhere when I am involved or I am running the show, I will ensure that everybody is with me. If they are not with me, even if one person is not with me, I'll call him, try to convince him. 1 hour, 2 hours, I'll try my best to make him understand. Still the Buddha is not understanding. Yeah, you go. That is easier for all of us. Because others are very, very happy to be here. Only you are unhappy. Tell me what I can do to make you go. Please. This is a very, very commonsensical approach, my dear friends. Sometimes, some ideas and some thoughts may be above your age. But try to remember it. Later on in your life, you will remember. Srikant told at that time, if somebody is not agreeing, better you quietly send them out rather than keep them in and keep on facing them every day. Many organizations, I myself asked, why are you having this gentleman? Every time he comes to meeting or she comes to meeting, they only ask questions. They don't contribute. They only put negative points. Why are we having? No. She has been with us for 18 years. 18 years I put up with this person. That is why your company is not growing. Send her out. Everything will be all right. This company will become all right. Because negative is always bad. We should have positive thinking and positive approach. Okay. It's again my own view. Okay. Of course, it's not a very, very, maybe, see, if otherwise what will happen? All the power and energy that is being built to one person will be draining it with question. This cannot happen, that cannot happen, like that. Now, coming to the point, in this case, of course, the law is very clear. If they are not agreeable, pay the money, send them out. TVS supply chain, fresh issue 200 crore, offer for sale. Correct. You see, you are all expert in going to the net. Yeah, why you are asking me to show, see, this is an offer for sale prospectus. Go through it. I think there is also an IPO along with that. Am I correct, Mr. Manoj? There is also a thing. Correct. Offer for sale does not generate money for the company. Absolutely not. But then it is meant for people who are the shareholders. See, after all, promoters have struggled now. So they need some exit route, right? So that exit route, some amount they should take. Suppose you are the promoter of a company. You have been running that company for 15 years. and about 20 crore of your money is locked up in that company, would you not want to take some amount out of the company along with your employees? Would you not want an exit for yourself? That exit is different, where you want to sell and come out. Some portion, not the entire amount, some portion. That is being done. Nothing wrong in offer for sale. Okay. Again, the SEBI will not allow OFS in all cases. Only for existing companies which have done well, which are ethically managed, high degree of corporate governance, like for example TVS, where the corporate governance cannot be questioned. Only in those cases they will give this type of a permission. Otherwise, they may not permit offers. Or else they will not say don't go for offer for sale, but they will ask them to put huge risk factor. They will ask them to put in the main prospectus. In the IPO, they will say promoters are selling their shares, and there may be a dilution in the promoter's stake that may become a risk factor in that company. So that if I am a public and I am looking at it, I'll say, hey, the promoter themselves selling, why I should buy? That question should come now. So to prevent that, normally about 10% only they will come out with OFS. Entire promoter stake won't come, and they won't get any benefit. Okay. Yeah. Does not generate money for the company. No. Correct. So this is what we said. Offer for sale. So the document through which OFS shall be deemed to be a prospectus. But this is not deemed prospectus. Deemed prospectus, section 25. This is the word deemed is used. That's all. Okay. Deemed. In other words, it will have the same. It will have the same format as the prospectus, which is why what we do, we don't have a separate OFS document. The same prospectus document will include OFS matter also. Or they may give the whole content and give another OFS, but almost same. Everything except the top will be different. Instead of saying prospectus, they will say offer for sale. That's all. Provisions relating to minimum subscription. 90% of the issue amount should be subscribed within 90 days. And minimum application value, that is face value, should not be less than 10 rupees. These conditions will be applicable to OFS also. Now, suppose the offerer cannot see that usually you have to give a lot of information in the prospectus. Offerer may not be able to give. So where that information cannot be gathered by the offerer with justification, they should give a reason why they cannot give and reason for non-compliance. Also, the name of the persons bearing the cost of OFS to be disclosed, so that they will know who are the people who are making the OFS, offer for sale. See, that's a good question you are asking. Pranav ji, you are asking a very good question. Pranav. Your name is Pranav or Pranav? Because you are spelling it with an E. Should I pronounce it with an A or with an E? I shall pronounce it with an A, Pranav. Pranav ji, it's a good question. They want to exit, they can sell shares in the share market. Why they need OFS? See, this way, it will be transparent. And they can do it in bulk, one shot. Rather than if they want to go to the share market, suppose they go and do it in the share market, listing has started. After listing, the price will go up. Suddenly, one chunk, if they go and sell, the price will drop. Also, it will give a wrong sign. Pranav, I think I got it right. Pranav ji, it will give the wrong signal to the market. Suppose the public issue has come, the company shares are listed, then promoters go and start selling. It will give a wrong, shall we say, signal to the market about the company. And what will happen is the share price will start falling because the market will suddenly react and say promoters selling all on. So in order to avoid that, they want to do it in a transparent process. In the beginning itself, they are saying we are selling. You want to buy. Usually, OFS will be made only by extremely well-managed, highly profitable blue chip companies where there will be a huge demand. So whether it is OFS or public issue, the public will be more than happy to swallow it. Only then OFS they will go. Otherwise, they cannot go for OFS. Okay, that is why. So I hope I've given you a reason for this. Okay. If you don't want to go for OFS, you want to sell the shares in the market, please go. But what will happen is promoters, when they are selling their share in the open market, there is a continuous monitoring. It's not easy to sell. When the promoters are selling, they should give reason why they are selling and all. When you go through offer for sale, it is all done transparently, easily. Go. Money will be received, paid. Okay. So this is the idea. This is my understanding of OFS. Now, whenever we go for a public issue, the securities have to be dealt with in a stock exchange. So an application shall be made to one or more stock exchanges. I will be giving a break at 7:45. I know some of you are eager. Maybe just hold on for another 10 minutes. 7:45, we'll have a break. So the application shall be made to one or more stock exchanges and permission obtained for the securities being dealt with therein before making public offer. You should very clearly mention that there should be a thing. Once again, Pranav is asking a question. Sorry. The document through which OFS is made shall be deemed. Everything will apply except, as you rightly say, minimum subscription and minimum application. Sorry. Minimum subscription and minimum application value will not apply to OFS part. Correct. Similarly, any other information which cannot be gathered by the offerer need not be given with justification or non-compliance. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me, Pranav. Yeah. I think Muhammad Aslam, you are not listening. That is your problem. I very clearly said I will give a break at 7:45. I very clearly said I will give a break at 7:45. Okay, I'll give a break at 7:45. So, before you, no, you're telling no break. No, there will be a break. I need a break. Okay. Application shall be made to one or more stock exchanges and permission obtained for the securities being dealt with therein before making public offer. Prospectus shall state the names of the stock exchanges. See, today in India, we have only two stock exchanges, National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange, the Mumbai Stock Exchange. Actually, it's the Bombay Stock Exchange. It's called BSC still. They have not changed it to MSC. NSC, National Stock Exchange, and BSC. Okay. Only two. Earlier, you had so many regional stock exchanges. All the regional stock exchanges are now gone. With online trading and electronic trading, no, what shall we say? Other stockings are needed. No need for geographical closeness. Wherever you are connected to the net. Once the stock exchange opens, everybody can go in and start buying and selling. Okay. Which is why the volumes in NSC and BSC are very huge. See, earlier the commission was high. The commission charged by the brokers was high because the volumes were not there. So the regional stock exchanges, the brokers used to charge. Plus, the brokers used to play around with the rate also. The donkeys, what they will do, I have bought and sold shares during the physical trading also. At that time also I had shares. 1989, 90s and all. Even after 96, up till 90, till 2000, physical shares were there. Of course, I stopped investing in the share little before Harshad Mehta scam, then kept quiet, sold all my shares pre-Harshad Mehta. Before the Harshad Mehta scam came, I sold all my shares. And then I entered the market again post-Ketan Parekh. That entire period, I never entered the market. I never got attacked. I never lost money in the Harshad Mehta scam. I never lost money in the Ketan Parekh scam. Post Ketan Parekh 2002, I entered the market. From then onwards, I've been in the market. 3 times I have seen the market peak, and 2 times I've seen the market peak. This is the 3rd time I'm going to see the peak of the market. And I made money every time. 2007, I made money. 2017, I made money. So 2002 to 2007, that was one. Then 2012 to 2017, that was one. Then now the second route has started, 22 to 27. That is now I'm going on my 3rd up. Okay, is the point. So coming to the point, you have to make an application to the stock exchange, wherein the prospectus should state the names, and the issue proceeds shall be retained in a separate bank account. You cannot take that money. The minute you are going for public issue, you have to open a separate bank account. Complete money received will be put into that account. Then it has to be tallied with the total number of applications. Everything should be tallied. But today, luckily, this is the job done by the registrars to the issue. They will tally everything. Then finally, they'll give a report. So much money was received. So much is in the bank. So many shares have been applied for. So many shares have been. All this has to be given. And that money will be adjusted only against allotment. Or in case there's an oversubscription, repayment. Or where there's an undersubscription and the allotment cannot be made, you have to refund the money. So the money should either be used for allotment or it should be repaid. Okay? You cannot, in the application, you cannot put a clause which says, I the applicant, am happy, even if the minimum subscription not received, you can make the allotment. I have no problem. Even if such a waiver is given by that donkey, it shall be void. See, people will do anything. So, to protect him, they say, even if that applicant foolishly signs it, it will be void. Any waiver of this will be void. Also, the applicant cannot say, I am aware that you may not be able to list on a stock exchange. Even if the shares are not listed, kindly make the allotment to me. No. Such waivers are void. So, in case you have not made an application, or in case if the shares have not been listed, then you cannot make an allotment. So, in case you make a default, penalty is there, 5 to 50 lakhs, 50,000 to 3 lakhs, and imprisonment for 1 year, and fine and imprisonment not there. The provisions relating to imprisonment have been deleted by the old amendment. I'm still putting it here only because it's at that time when the amendment came, there's a syllabus issue, will it be there, not there? So I included it. Now it is not. Imprisonment is not there as a punishment. Why we can't issue the shares to the only under unsubscribed? Not allowed, prohibited. The law doesn't permit you. Okay, you have to refund the money back. Reason is simple. You want to set up a huge refinery in Jamnagar for which you need 300 crore. You have received only 200 crore. How you will set up the refinery now? So the whole point is lost. So they are saying, please give the money back. You understand? So either you get the whole money and do what you promised to do. You can't say, I'm going to build a stadium and then say, I'm going to keep a small tobacco stall. No. Whatever you went for, you have to get. Otherwise, don't. ABC Limited issued a prospectus in April 2020 for public issue of shares. It had applied for listing of shares in 2 recognized stock exchanges, and both of them have given permission for listing in June 2020. Can the company proceed for allotment? See, please note, application shall be made to 1 or more stock exchanges and permission obtained before making public offer. And even if one stock exchange refuses and if you go, you are out. In this case, what has happened? Permission has come only in June, whereas you issued the prospectus in April. So the company cannot proceed for allotment of the shares. See, for FPO listing permission is not required. It's already a listed company. Okay. Correct. Alok is correct. I have explained to you what is underwriting, right? Now, I said that we have to pay some commission for underwriters, right? So that commission shall not exceed 5% of the price at which the shares are issued. This is not contained in the section. This is contained in Rule 13 of the rules. Okay. The commission is to be paid on the total price. That is, suppose the company is going for a public issue, 10 rupees face value, 15 rupees premium, 25. Now, on the entire 25, you have to pay commission to the underwriters. That commission will be expressed as a percentage of the price. Price means the total amount. 10 plus 15, 25 is the price. 5% is permitted, or the rate authorized by the articles, whichever is less in case of shares. So when you're issuing shares and you want to pay underwriting commission, the commission shall not exceed 5% of the price at which the shares are issued, or the rate authorized by the articles, whichever is less. Suppose the rate authorized by the article is 3, then you can only pay 3%. But if the rate authorized is 6, but you can pay only 5%, whichever is less. Same way for debentures, it shall not exceed 2.5%. Same, everything is same, but for debentures it is less. It's only 2.5%, whereas for shares it is more, 5%. Okay. Disclosure should be made in the prospectus. Bond will fall in the case of debentures. Basically, bonds and debentures are same. When we come to debentures, I'll tell you more about it, Abdul. But right now, since you asked the question, quickly, bonds is a debentures. Bond is a debt instrument. Now, these are all equity, whereas this is debt. So bond is a debt instrument. So bond will come under debentures. Basically, unsecured debentures. See, because suppose it's a secured bond, it will be a debenture. But it's an unsecured bond, it will not be a debenture. We call it bond or what. Okay. See, the word debenture is used only in India. Nowhere else in the world you'll use debenture. Even in UK, they don't use the word debentures now. They prefer to use the word bond, corporate bonds. You've got government bonds and you've got corporate bonds. So basically, this is a corporate bond. But in India, somehow, we got used to the word debenture. And we use the word debenture for a debt instrument issued by a company, secured against the assets of the company. We call it debenture. So strictly, this is also bond only. Debentures and bonds are same. In fact, in the definition of debenture, you will find debenture includes bonds, they will say. So more about it when we come to share capital and debentures. So there should be a disclosure in prospectus. Yeah, now the time is 8:46. Let me see. Quickly, I'll finish this slide and then move on. And then we'll have a break. Disclosure shall be made in prospectus of names of underwriters, commission to be paid, and number of securities underwritten. No commission shall be paid on securities not offered to public. For example, if promoters themselves are taking some shares, on that you should not pay commission. Okay. Copy of contract for payment of commission to be delivered to registrar along with prospectus. When you're registering the prospectus, along with that, the underwriting contract for payment of commission should also be delivered to the registrar. Now, friends, the time now is 7:47 like that. Let me give you a small break for 5 minutes, more for biology and for, okay. Sir, when there is excess money raised through prospectus, then it should be refunded. Absolutely. If any amount beyond the issue size is received, that money should be refunded to the public within 15 days. Okay, strictly. Mr. Muhammad Aslam, what message you have put? If you can understand, please. I am unable to understand what you have put. At break, small company, paid up capital. Kya hai bhaiya? Unable to understand what you have put. Please be clear in what you are putting up now. Please, Islamji. I am not as intelligent as you are. I cannot understand the shortcut language you are using. So I'm now giving a break for myself to go drink a cup of hot water, not for speaking to you. Okay. If you want to study small companies, please go ahead and study during the break. You are a highly intelligent person. You are a highly industrious person. I give you the blessings. Study small company, paid up capital. Okay. Chalo. Now small break. 5 minutes means 7:55. We will assemble again. Boss, break. Ashok, break. Okay, so welcome back from your break. Moving on. Aslam is giving the paid up capital and turnover threshold limits for small company, which is already taught in an earlier session. So thanks for that information. If company wants to issue 100,000 shares with 85,000 are subscribed by public, and for issuance of shares, the underwriter has subscribed 5,000. Commission will be paid on 85,000 or 90,000. Commission will be paid on 100,000 shares because that is the amount offered to the public, right? Shares are issued. The commission will be paid on 100,000 shares which are offered to the public. And again, remember, if they have fully subscribed, if the underwriters are fully subscribed, the underwriters have underwritten the whole issue, 100% underwriting, then they cannot take only 5,000. In the example given by you, Mr. Abdul, they cannot take only 5,000 and make it 90%. They have to take the balance, meaning they have to take 15,000 shares. And they will be paid commission on 100,000 shares into the price. Whatever is the amount, on that they have to be paid 5%. The balance 15,000 share at the issue price, they will take it. They will hold it. This is the correct answer for your question. In a listed company, not all securities. No. Once you go for listing, all your securities means, oh, you mean debentures may not be listed. That's a good one. That is, once you go for an issue of shares, all the shares will be listed. You cannot say only this money will be listed, the balance is not listed. Complete shares will be listed. But you can make a public issue or private placement of debentures or a private placement of preference shares that will not be listed. You may not go for listing for that, if that is what you mean. But if within that equity share itself, you cannot say only 50,000 shares will be listed, remaining 50 not listed. Not like that. Not possible. All the shares will be listed. Everything will be listed. Everything will be traded on the stock exchange. When non-convertible debt issued on PP basis, private placement basis are listed, and then now they are issuing equity shares, then is the issuance of equity shares called IPO? Definitely. For as far as the equity shares are concerned, it is an initial public offer, right? For the equity shares, it is an IPO. Paid up capital and turnover of small company not exceeding, what is Aslam trying to do? Why is he wasting my time putting this up again and again? Thank you, sir. We are happy with you for your knowledge. What do you want us to do? Here, price of shares in debenture refers to issue price or nominal value. Again, to make it clear, for the removal of doubts, price means the total price, including premium, not only the face value. Price means the total price, not only the face value. Okay? Got it? Good. No, these questions are good. When you ask me, for example, the way Abdul has asked a question, very specific with a numerical example, it helps me to answer also. Correct. So, drill down questions with specific questions are good. Do not put statements in the query pad. Do not share knowledge in the query pad unless it is something that I have not told. Please correct me. If I'm making a mistake, correct me. Or if you want to add to what I'm saying, add. But do not repeat what I am saying on the query pad. Okay? Because I'm looking for queries. And when you put up statements like this, I'm wasting my time reading it. That is why. Especially when you put the same comment again and again, you're wasting time. Don't do that. Ask specific questions relating to the topic connected with what we are now teaching. Any other generic query you have, if you want, ask it at the end of the session. Maybe I will answer it. Otherwise, send it to the Board of Studies. They will send it to me and I will answer it. Yeah, when the first time, don't say each class of shares. Yeah, preference share first time. When it goes, it's an IPO. Equity first time, it's an IPO. Like that. That is my understanding. Okay. Now, after finishing prospectus, we are moving on to allotment. Allotment of shares, right? Finally, I'll be covering misstatement in prospectus. Misstatement in prospectus, etc. I'll cover. And then we will cover private placement, and with that, we will close. That is in the next session. This session we'll do allotment. What is allotment? Issue is when the company issues the prospectus and informs the public that so many shares are available. So the prospectus by which the shares are issued is an invitation to trade. That is called issue. The application made by the subscriber is the offer. Allotment by the board of directors is the acceptance. So what happens is when all the applications are received, then the registrar to the issue will make it into a summary. Then they will see whether it is a oversubscription, undersubscription, or exactly. Then if it is undersubscription, then if there is an underwriter, they will make up the underwriting. If that with that you have received 90%, great. But if 90% is not received, you will be seeing that allotment cannot be made. But if more than that has come, then you can only allot up to the amount you have issued. Beyond that, you have to refund it back. Okay. So, whatever it is, when the prospectus is issued, it is an invitation to treat. Application made by the subscriber. See, at the time when he is giving the application, he is not shareholder. He is called subscriber. Once his shares are allotted, he is an allottee. Then he is also a shareholder. Once his name is entered in the register of members, he is a member. Got it? Further public offer. FPO is further public offer. Further, beyond, further. IPO, initial public offer. FPO, further public offer. So, minimum subscription means, that's a word used here, minimum subscription. Currently, 90% of the issued size. Currently, the SEBI may change this. Currently, it is 90% of the issue size to be received within 30 days of issue of prospectus. 90% of the issue size. Issue size means whatever is the amount, number of, for example, in our case, my friend Abdul's example, 1 lakh shares are issued, 90,000 shares, 90% of the issue size should be subscribed for. That is called minimum subscription. Should be received within 30 days of issue of prospectus. Earlier, it was 90% of the issue size to be received within 90 days of the issue of prospectus. Now they made it 30 days. Within 30 days, it has to come. Because believe me, it will come. If it is a good issue, it will come within the first 3 days, within the first 4 days. If it is a bombed issue, gone. It won't come. Then they have to go begging, borrowing. What the promoter will do, they will borrow money and subscribe. All nonsense they will do. They will borrow money and they themselves will subscribe through some relatives and all. They will subscribe. There are some brokers who will subscribe, not underwriters. In addition to, suppose there is underwriting, cool. But if underwriting is not there, some fellows, they will think it will oversubscribe and all. They will be misadvised by the merchant banker because underwriting is not compulsory, optional. So and it's an additional cost. So some promoter, what they will do, they will say, we will get oversubscribed. Finally, the issue will bomb due to many reasons. Not necessarily the company. Company may be good. Okay. Or company may be overvalued. See, then a company may be good. I will buy that share, but not at this price. See, this is another problem. My goods are of high quality, I agree. Then why don't you buy? Because the price is high. At this price, whatever may be your quality, it is not worth this price. All I am trying to say. So this is something they may not predict correctly. Overpriced issue will bomb. Then they cannot reduce the price. See, it is not like a market now where you cannot go back to the public and say, okay, sorry, whatever you want to pay, you pay. No. If you have said $600, it is $600. He has to buy it at 600. So if underwriting is done, good. If not, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Many promoters I have known, what they will do, they will borrow money at high cost and they will pump it into the company as by way of equity. Imagine that company. See, that company is doomed to fail now because the promoter has to take out that interest in some form or the other from that company. So you mean to say he will allow that company to make profit? So no way this company is going to survive. But anyway, that is a different story. Point is, 90% of the issue size should be received within 30 days of the issue of prospectus. There are many companies who did like this, including the great S Bank. See, Yes Bank did it for two reasons. One, I have a feeling they were circulating money. They were laundering it and bringing it in. The old S Bank, not the current S Bank now, under the new management. I mean, the original S Bank. I think they were doing some money laundering. One. Two, I think nobody wanted to buy at that price. So they pumped in. I think some nonsense happened in S Bank. That much I know. Because at that time when S Bank came, there were still physical applications. And I have done some work. And I know that there was some bogus and all. There was bogus, clearly bogus applications and all I've seen. Bogus means, see, there will be 15 applications from the same road, from the same street, with just address. No such person. Simply they put. That was the time when DPs were not there. Because DP ID was not compulsory. You could simply give some nonsense application along with the bank check. Sometimes the same bank account, they will give 15 checks with the different names. But the account will be the same. All sorts of nonsense I've seen. But now all that is not possible. Now applications can come only through registered DP IDs. And that bank will be separate. And refund will be given only to that bank. Of course, money laundering has become difficult now. Not impossible, difficult. Okay. In meaning of allotment, what the word appropriation? Not able to understand the question. Allotment is the appropriation. Okay. That is the problem. I'm using too much big words in English. Appropriation means setting aside. That is, appropriation means setting aside. To appropriate means to set aside or to, shall we say, segregate and keep. So when the company has authorized capital now, out of that authorized capital, we are apportioning. We are apportioning now, apportionment, cost apportionment. When you're dividing the cost, so taking apart, apportioning. In costing, you might have studied, apportionment. Same logic. Appropriate. That is apportionment. This is appropriation. That is setting aside of a certain number of shares. Hitherto, okay, I think this is too big words for you. We should not have used it at all. Basically, the unissued capital of the company is now being segregated and kept as issued capital. A certain portion of the authorized capital is now segregated and is now made issued capital. Okay. So, and totally you have the authorized capital. Out of that, a small portion is being appropriated or segregated and or set aside as issued capital. Okay. That is called appropriation. Appropriation of a certain number of shares hitherto unappropriated capital. Hitherto unappropriated means authorized capital. Authorized capital is unappropriated. Now, out of that authorized capital, we are segregating a certain portion and saying, to this extent, we are going to issue. Now, out of the shares which are issued, fully may be subscribed or some portion is subscribed. Then that becomes allotted, that becomes subscribed. Then called up, then paid up. Finally, you have paid up capital. Yeah, appropriation of profit. See, the total profit is there. Out of that, you declare a dividend. That is an appropriation. Correct? You are segregating it or you are earmarking it. This is a better word. Appropriation is earmarking. For that purpose, like that. I should not have used money. See, when money has been earned fraudulently, it will be in the form of cash. How to push that cash into the system? There are many methods of doing. One is using public issue for that. What they do is public issue is coming from many people now. So they will take the cash and deposit it in, say, about 1,000 bank accounts. And from those bank accounts, they'll make application. From that bank account, money will come genuinely to the company as share capital. But inside that bank account, the money would have gone from the private sources. Suppose they restrict to within the taxable limit for about, say, 200 people, they push it in. Even more than the taxable limit, if you push through Benami accounts and all, you'll be able to deposit a cash. And that cash will be invested in this company. Small amount. You can't put too much also. No? There's a limit how much you can put. Okay. And then you'll put it and take it. This is called money laundering. Sometimes it is used. Many companies have used this as a money laundering method. You will learn more about money laundering when you come to final. when you learn a topic called Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA. At that time, you'll know more about it. Now I'm only linking it for you. Form PAS3, can it be corrected after? I don't know. Seriously, I'm not aware of it. I have to check up with my company secretary and I have to get back to you. Can Form PAS3 correction after one time submitted? I'll have to check out because that's a very, very practical question you are asking. I'm not aware. Okay. So it should be possible. It should be possible. But you can't, depends on what changes you are making. Correction should be possible. Yeah. PAS3. See, PAS3 is basically a return of allotment. Means once the allotment is made, then you have to inform the registrar about the allotment. So usually Form PAS3 will be filed by the registrar to the issue. But this Form PAS3 is not only for public issue. Suppose you are not going for public issue. You are simply allotting some shares to some shareholders. Even then you have to file the return of allotment in Form PAS3. Yeah, see, if there is any error in any form, you can correct it. You can correct it. To my knowledge, it is possible to correct a form after one time submitted. But anyway, this is a good practical question. Let me check up with a company secretary before I give a final answer on this. My gut feeling is that it should be possible to correct. Should be possible to correct. Suppose I have entered the name wrongly or the address wrongly. Even I might have entered some mistake. Okay, you can correct mistakes that have been done. But thing is, you cannot change the allotment once made. See the board resolution. Suppose you have allotted shares to Donkey, you cannot now say those shares are not allotted to Donkey. No, because that is over. That's a legal process. You can't change that. But suppose while entering the name of Donkey, you have entered Monkey, you can change it. But I don't think you will be allowed to change that is, you can't change the allotment itself. Any error in the return of allotment can be corrected. But you cannot say we allotted to Donkey, now we are sorry, it's a mistake. Actually, it is only Monkey. Like that, you cannot. If the application is on Donkey, only Donkey will get the share. Okay. But if such level of errors are going to happen in your allotment, the SEBI will be very, very particular to come and investigate you. Believe me, if you are going to correct your return of allotment, you will be very careful about what you are doing. Because suppose the major corrections are being made, that shows negligence on the part of the registrar to the issue and also the company. So SEBI may want to know why. Why so much changes are there? Why are you resubmitting PAS3 like that? Depository and stock exchange difference I will tell when I come to dematerialization. Okay. Subrataji, I will tell at the time of dematerialization. In the meantime, why don't you look up the word depository on Google? There are two depositories in the country. There are two stock exchanges. Okay, quickly. Depository is nothing but like a bank where you are the owner of the share. You will be holding your share in electronic form. That record will be maintained by the depository. So the depository is a record keeper who is keeping record of the shares. Stock exchange, market, where the shares are traded. They are linked with each other, but they are not the same. Okay. In an online market, what happens is you trade on the stock exchange. Once you sell a share, from where that share will be taken? From the depository account, your depository account. So you will be having a broking account with the bank. So you'll go there and you'll sell 20 shares of Infosys. The minute you sell 20 shares, now your broking account will automatically open your DP account. From that DP account, it will ensure that there are 20 shares of Infosys that will be transferred. That will go to the pool account of the broker. Then from there, it will go to the DP account of the buyer. This will happen outside of the market. Market is only the transaction. The sale is over. Then the market is disconnected. Then it is between DP to DP. It will happen. Okay. This is the role of a DP and a depository. Usually depositories don't get into this. Depositories have highly secure databases. It is a depository participants who give access to the public, who open DP account, broking account. Usually the broker himself will give you a DP account. Okay. It's more of convenience. I'll tell you more about it when we come to dematerialization. If an allotment digits and amounts is written mistakenly, it can be changed. Yes, clerical errors can be changed. Definitely it can be changed. That you can change. Okay. So Form PAS3 is to be filed whenever allotment is made, where shares are allotted for consideration other than cash, means instead of money. See, this Form PAS3 is not only for public issue. Even unlisted company, when they are allotting shares to anybody, form has to be filed. Private company allotting shares to somebody, Form PAS3 has to be filed. Got it? So suppose an unlisted company is purchasing land, and instead of giving money, they are giving shares. This is called consideration other than cash. Then the contract between the seller and the company for the purchase of the land and allotment of shares should be attached along with Form PAS3. Good. Yeah, Supradaji suddenly wants to wish Pongal, maybe because she is also from Tamil Nadu. Yes, Pongal we celebrated yesterday. Today, very special Pongal for four-leggeds, for only cows and bulls. Today is the Pongal. Call it cow Pongal, meant for cows today. When we celebrate the four-legged cattle today. Okay. Correct. PIS is Prospectus and Allotment of Securities. Invariably, you will find the abbreviation for the form will be abbreviation of the chapter heading. PIS is Prospectus and Allotment of Securities. PAS. Okay, like that. Yeah, Matu Pongal is today's cow Pongal. Madu means cow. Also, for those of you who are from Tamil Nadu, Madu also means wealth. In Tamil, Madu also means wealth. Okay. Chelvattul Chelvam Sevich Chelvam Achelvam Selvattul. He uses the word Madalla Matrayavai. Tiruvallur uses the word Madalla Matrayavai. Forget the which Kural. There he uses the word Madu in the context of wealth. Okay. No problem. Once upon a time, for human beings, cattle was the wealth. And so they celebrated a whole day when the cattle gave him the wealth. That was called this today. Okay, moving on with allotment of securities. We have hardly another 6 minutes to go. No problem. We can go ahead. Let me just go away. Just sort of a summary of the allotment of security concept. Minimum amount should be subscribed. Also, the application money shall not be less than 5% of the nominal amount. Application money shall not be less than 5% of the face value. Okay, but today, 99.99%, the entire amount will be paid at the time of application. Except for this one Reliance, okay, rights issue of Reliance was a partly paid issue. Partly paid. Where at the time of application, we paid only 25% of the total price. Right? But the rule is the minimum amount shall not be less than 5%. Easily it will be more than 5% of the nominal amount. So even if you collect 25% of the total price, it will be more than 5% of the nominal amount. Right? But believe me, 99.99% of the cases, why 100% of the cases, the entire amount will be collected along with the application. Okay, I'm yet to see partly paid except Reliance. That too, rights issue of Reliance, they came out with a partly paid share. And it still continues to be a partly paid share. Okay, not fully paid. And partly paid shares are traded on the stock exchange. That is Reliance. See, do not ask a question which has no connection with the topic on hand. Mr. Veeramalla, this is a question that, this is an answer, diminution and reduction, we will take up in detail when I come to share capital and debentures. At that time, I will answer it. Please do not ask a question which is not arising from a slide or from what I have told. Fresh questions don't. I will be telling reduction of capital in detail. I will cover that section. At that time, I will tell about diminution also. So, if I keep jumping like this and explaining now, we will be wasting our time. Please understand. See, the role of a RTA, registrar and transfer agent, is totally different. At this stage, he will not even come. At the time of IPO, there is no RTA. I think by RTA, you mean registrar and transfer agent. He will not come. only registrar. Okay, you mean registrar to the issue. Registrar to the issue is the person who will collect all the applications, who will summarize it, who will make the allocation and prepare the register of members. That is the role of registrar. Broker will sell the issue, will promote the issue. Got it? He will send the application to everybody. That is the role of a broker. Underwriter, he will only enter into a contract in case there is a development, he will take. So they play different roles in a public issue. Registrar to the issue, underwriter, broker, they play different roles. See, for performing a marriage of my daughter, I have to have somebody who will put up the backdrop of the stage, somebody who will do the catering. So like that, somebody who will give me the furniture. Like that, I have to go to the mandapwala, I have to pay him. Like that. So for one IPO, there are so many people involved. Everybody, and that fellow who pays the Nayanam has to come. So everybody has to be paid now. That is why. So if you ask why that Nayanam fellow is there, without him, there won't be any music. So you have to pay him. Why that backdrop fellow should be there? His job is different. Mandapwala will, is he not that backdrop also? No. Backdrop will be a separate fellow. Okay. I hope I've explained in a simple terms. So all these fellows have to come. The registrar to the issue, brokers, merchant banker will also be there. In addition to that, the lead merchant banker will be there, who will be the advisor to the issue. He will be like the chief Prohit. In fact, as in any my marriage example, the chief Prohit will come now. That fellow will tell, you go to this caterer, you go to that fellow for backdrop. Like that, many Prohits now have complete contract. They bring everybody. You pay him to whatever 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs. He will bring everybody and get. Okay? One-stop solution we have. Similarly, there are merchant bankers who will do it. They will point the finger. You go to him, they'll take care. So that is the correct explanation I can give you regarding IPO. There are a lot of people like that. Okay? We can keep on going. That's the subject by itself. Not for us to learn now. Maybe when you come to SEBI, you will learn. Okay? In final, I don't know, maybe there's an elective on securities market and all. There you will learn. I don't know. The Manoj Kumar Tagore, it's a wonderful question you are asking me. But that question should be asked to the great Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Why you are asking me? How do I know whether Mukesh wants the money or not? Yeah. You ask him directly. I don't know. Maybe they don't need. I seriously don't know. Why should I tell? Obviously, they don't need. Yeah. See, for their grandchildren, they are giving so many things. For their marriage, they are spending so much. You mean to say they need money? Simply, see, they went for a public issue to collect some money for paying the debts. Now they have got the option to take the balance money whenever they want. In fact, the 21 October, they should have made the second call and closed that. Still yet to make. To my knowledge, they have not made. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe some of you are highly intelligent. You will be able to correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they have made that, because what happened now? I am a shareholder of Reliance, but I did not buy the right share. I did not subscribe for the right shares. I sold my rights. Thereby, I made slight profit in that activity. I'll explain it when I come to rights. I will tell you how about it. How I made slight profit I made by not buying the right share, but rather selling the rights and buying the share in the market at that time at that price. Thereby, I got a slight advantage. Very, very slight, but small arbitrage, which was open only for 3 days. In the 3 days, those who did it could do it. After that, the price caught up. Then there was no big advantage in doing what I did. And then, of course, those of us who bought the share and got the rights, got the profit. When the price went up, we got the profit. Okay. I know some of what I'm saying may sound like gibberish to some of you. Don't worry. When we come to rights issue in shares and share capital debentures, I'll explain to you what I did. That is why I'm not following the partly paid shares of Reliance. I don't know what happened to it. But I have searched 2 times in Google. 2 times I found they have not made any call. Yeah. See, I'm trying to do 2 things here. One, Mr. Shifa, what I'm doing is, one is I'm trying to make the subject as relevant and interesting as possible. 2, I'm trying to make it as practical as possible. While at the same time, you will cover the topic from the exam point of view also. Okay, is the also, I want you to appreciate that for a chartered accountant, bookish knowledge alone is not enough. If you only mug up the book and you only rely on the book, you will pass the exam maybe even with good marks. But when you come out into the wide world there, you can't keep on asking what is this, what is this, what is this. You have to keep moving. You have to understand the overall picture and run. Okay, that's the point. value of right and all you have studied in final, no? That we applied and we bought. Instead of buying the right share, we sold the right. Because we found that the value of the right was better than buying the right shares. Can ROC purchase shares of company? No, never. Impossible. That will be the ultimate violation. Because he is a government servant. He cannot buy. No way. Central government servant, he has to make a disclosure of anything and everything. No way. He cannot buy. If it is disturbing you, please don't remove it. If at all he wants to buy, he has to get approval at 3 levels. He can buy. Of course, he can also make portfolio investment, but he has to disclose it to his RD. Then it has to go to ministry, get approval. Then only he can buy. Portfolio investment can be made, but full disclosure. He has to keep complete disclosure. Otherwise, gone. Because, same company is going to deal with it now. At that time, as you rightly say, it is disturbing. It is disturbing me also. So, he cannot do it. He cannot do it. But that is not under the Companies Act. That is under the employment regulations of the central government. The Minister of Corporate Affairs, when he was appointed by the President of India, there would have been at that time, they would have given him clear-cut instructions. He will agree. I will not buy. Why only shares? He cannot buy even house, car, everything he has to disclose. Because he is a public servant, everything has to be monitored. Nothing wrong. If he has got valid source of money, he can invest. But it should be disclosed to the government of India. Again, he cannot buy a share which he has incorporated. Never. Because not possible. Some other company in some other district, not here. Okay, minimum amount subscribed should come. The application money should have been paid and received. Application money shall not be less than 5% or such other percentage as specified. Okay. Then, in case the minimum amount is not subscribed or application money is not received within 30 days or such other period, the amount received shall be refunded within 15 days. So, if you have not received 90%, then on the expiration of 30 days, within 15 days, you have to refund the amount. That is why the 30 days is a dangerous thing. You have to continuously monitor. Promoters will go mad. I've seen many cases where the company was not ready for public issue. Some merchant banker will come and give some nonsense story. They will put some nonsense valuation, greed of the promoter coupled with his gullibility. The merchant banker also would be a two-bit fellow who would know nothing. Then together they will go to the market. At that time, the market will also be weak. Then they will also irritate the press. The press will write bad report. That's it. The investor community will reject. That is all over. And that fellow will be struggling. Financially, that promoter will be ruined. I tell you, he will be ruined. He will wish he had not gone for IPO. So when company makes an allotment of securities in default of Section 39, then company will be suffering a penalty of 1,000 for each day. Means one of the important conditions is to file PAS3. So for every day during which the offence continues, 1,000. And also rupees 1 lakh penalty, whichever is less. Okay. If minimum application has not been received, then the application money shall, I'll just go on till I complete this and then we will stop. Then the application money shall be repaid within a period of 15 days. If it is not repaid within such period, the directors of the company who are officers in default shall jointly and severally be liable to repay that money with interest at the rate of 15%. So if it is not repaid within 15 days, then beyond that, they have to pay 15% interest and repay. The directors will become personally liable. The application money to be refunded shall be credited only to the bank account from which the subscription was remitted. For dissenting shareholders, I'm not aware. Because as prescribed, they say, I'm not aware of it. But there again, you'll have to do it within 30 days like that. Reasonable time, you have to do it. Yes, we have come to a logical conclusion. In our next session, we will take up misstatements in prospectus and go on till we complete this topic. Thank you very much for your wonderful support and looking forward to meeting you again on Wednesday. Thank you. Bye.